All right, Belal Muhammad, the champ is here, but where's the champ right now? Is it sauna time, Belal? What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I figured I'd kill two birds with one stone. Might as well hit the sauna while I'm doing these interviews.
All right. Well, I usually do interviews without pants anyway, so it's really perfect. The UFC, yeah, Belal, UFC 315, you're back, finally defending the title against Jack Della Maddalena, Montreal, May 10th on pay-per-view. First and foremost, the foot. How we feeling? How good does it feel just in general to be healthy, ready to defend that title?
Man, feeling great. Excited that it's finally fight week. Like you said, just to be healthy, right? You take your health for granted, and to think of, well, I was 6 weeks of doing absolutely nothing, in pain, couldn't go outside, couldn't sweat. So I'm just grateful that I'm able to work. I'm grateful to be at. My bad, bro.
No problem, no problem. All right, let's pick up here, Belal, where we left off, man. Foot feeling great, itching,
Yeah,
I'm sure, to get back in there and defend.
Yeah, foot's feeling good. To be at another fight week, I'm excited. I'm so pumped. It's a different energy, and it just, like I said, made me feel more grateful to for the health. Right, to when you're unhealthy, when you can't do nothing, when you can't do what you love, when you can't train, it's like the worst feelings in the world. So now that I went through a long camp, a rigorous camp, a hard camp, and it's holding up, I'm just excited to be able to go have fun now.
Well, Bilal, you've been an incredible story, and I regret that we didn't. I don't know. Some of us in the media didn't see it coming that you would be on an 11 fight winning streak, that you'd be the champ, and that you do this at this age because we know the history and the stats of welterweight and below. How often 35 and over it doesn't work out. You're 36. You're strong. You seem to outlast all your opponents. Like, what is the secret to you defying this curve, this age situation?
I think it's the work ethic. I put in so many hours. I put a lot of good work, smart work in. And also, like, I started late. I started at 23. So there isn't that burnt out effect
Yeah.
where you get with a lot of these guys who started since they were kids and, training and wrestling and doing all this stuff. I had 2 years of high school wrestling. I started learning how to fight at 23 years old. So it hasn't been that long. I haven't been doing it that long. And I don't drink. I don't smoke. I keep my body clean, and I try to stay light and healthy all year round because I'm training all year round. So I think that's what helps me and keeps me strong and keeps me like feeling young.
Well, it's working, man. It is absolutely working. That 11 fight unbeaten streak, incredible, especially the names you've taken out of late. Let's talk about the next name, JDM. Shavkat not ready. You were supposed to fight him before your injury. How does this change things for you with Jack Della Maddalena in front of you?
Honestly, I think for me it's business as usual. I think a lot of these guys they had to make the adjustment to me. When I go into the fights, it's let me look at my last fight and fix little things. Let me evolve. Let me show a different version of myself. It's always trying to be a better version of myself. So I like watch all these guys. My coaches will break a strategy down of what they do well, and we'll be like, all right, well, we'll do that with this guy. We'll do this with this guy, because I can do everything, right? I can't strike, I can't grapple, I can't wrestle, and a lot of these guys they can only fight one specific way. For me, I could, if I want to strike with you, I'll strike with you. If I want to grapple with you, I'll grapple with you. And I have the choice of taking it where I want to go. With Jack, he can only do one thing. He could only box. He could only strike. That's his only path to victory. Me, I think I'm going to go in there and outstrike him. And then for him, he's not going to have a plan B. And then that's frustration is going to hurt him. That's where the inexperience is going to kick in, where he didn't have to go the long road I had to go through. He didn't have to go through 5 round fights. And then it's going to go to that point where he starts drowning and feeling like there's nothing else he could do.
Do you think he specifically earned this shot, or do you think he benefited from timing?
I mean, it's definitely timing, right? Because none of these guys earned a shot if you're comparing them to me. I had to fight 5 top 10 guys to even get the shot or even looked at. And I still had to weigh in as a backup to even get the opportunity. But I don't think there's not a lot of these guys are not going to have to deal with that because they have a champion now that's willing to fight anybody. They don't have a champion that's like, oh wait, let me see how many followers you have. Let me see what. All right, do you gonna have a TikTok or not TikTok? Right? Like, I think that's what the older champions used to do. They would look, all right, what's the biggest name? For me, I'm like, what's the toughest fight? He's on a 17 fight win streak. Let's go. Shavkat's undefeated. Let's go. I'm saying yes to all these guys. There's not a waiting period.
I love it. I love it. Big theme for you ahead of this one. You get the Palestine flag back around you, and I know that means the world to you. Have you already felt a reaction of people that are excited that you get to represent your country like that?
Oh, 100%. I get so many messages and just like the love and support, and the people that are like, thank you for talking about us, thank you
Yeah.
for being a voice for us. And like my parents are from there, so like even just the love from them, right? They're honored to that they had their son, and their sons are able to do that for them. And that's the least I could do, right? I'm not doing enough. We're not doing enough. The world's not doing enough. So this little thing will change a couple lives and put a couple smiles on their face. This is what I want to do.
I mean, it's a great time for you to be a representative, bringing hope to so many people. I know, of course, you were born in Chicago, but you've always represented Palestine. Did that ever feel like the timing of you becoming a champion right when the country is going through so much? Like, did you accept that burden willingly? In terms of like, yeah, well, I will represent my people and use my platform to speak out in the ways you have.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's a privilege for me that I do have this opportunity, right? Got me. There's so many guys, so many people are afraid to speak. When you look at guys that have a bigger platform than me, and they don't want to do this or they don't want to do that. So for myself, I'm never going to shy away. I'm a fighter, right? I'm a fighter at heart. The people over there are fighters. They have it in their blood. I have it in my blood. So I have to speak up for them. There's nobody else out here that uh, has opportunity or has a stage like I have. So I have to. It's not a burden, right? It's a privilege because I get to put on for them. I get to show out the world how strong they are and who they are, and just keep representing.
I mean, considering that on your rise, you were kind of at times overlooked. Do you ever want to do that Roy Jones, you all must have forgot type thing and put it back in everybody's face? I say that because you're always so humble. You're always a great interview. You always seem like, you got your head on straight. But do you want to lash out sometimes and be like, what's up, guys? Look at me now.
Oh, 100%, right? And then like even with other fighters, because it was like you got the guys now that want to all chime in, right? Like Kamaro never talked a word to me when he was the champion, never mentioned my name, but now he's wants to talk all the time. You have other players now that want to talk all the time. So it's funny to me now that now they know who I am. Now they know where I come from. Now they always wanted to fight me, right? But like I said, I let my work do the talking. I let my thing talking. So if these guys want to talk, I'm down with it. But I'm just gonna keep winning also.
All right, since you've been rehabbing, the division it obviously keeps going, and we've seen a lot of big fights from Ian Garry versus Shavkat to Ian Garry's most recent fight and the victory, and him claiming he's going to be the backup in Montreal and he wants next. What do you think about those that are chasing you and knocking on the door from Garry to Shavkat right now?
I'm excited, man, because the division's moving. The division has action right now. I think it's one of the best divisions in the UFC at the moment, with a lot of like hungry young guys and guys that are good and great matchups for each other. Ian taking this fight on short notice, beating a guy like that who had a lot of hype was huge. Then you got Sean Brady, who just finished. Leon Edwards, you got Shavkat, who's still there, but he's injured. And then also you just got Kamaru and Buckley, who just got signed. Like, I'm excited to see how the rest of this plays out, right? How the rest of the year is going to play out. And I think after next week, we'll get a lot more answers from the UFC of like who they want to see next, who they have in mind,
Sure.
right? Because Ian says he's next, but then you also, if Kamara wins, they're going to let him skip the line, right? No matter what. If, Sean Brady's win is still up there, but Shavkat still earned it last, right? It's hard to manage it and figure it out. So for me, it's like, I'm just happy that I got a bunch of worthy contenders.
Do you think Shavkat got exposed at all in the Garry fight because he won, but he didn't run through him like Edward Scissorhands like people thought, or was an injury a factor in that in your eyes?
I don't really think it's exposure because I think people just expect so much from him, right? They expect him to just walk through everybody. And for Ian, he's tough, he's smart, he's a hard guy to fight. And he showed it his last couple fights where he figures out a way, he strategizes. It's not the same guy that comes in every single time. And for him, he trained with Shavkat. He had understanding of how Shavkat moves, what he was good at, what he wasn't good at. But I'm just glad now, right? Because I see holes in all these guys. So for Shavkat, he just gave me an extra 5 rounds to look at him and watch him and see weaknesses in his game. So for me, all I do is watch these fights and I just think, all right, what I would do to them, what I would do to them. And it just shows me that I'm levels above all these guys and I'm the best welterweight in the world.
Well, you're the best welterweight in the world without question. The real question is, are you planning on being the best middleweight in the world? Because I'm reading the headlines a little back and forth with you and Hamzat. I hear people saying, well, what if, Belal moved up after he won and then Islam moved up? Everybody's happy. What's going to happen here, Belal?
For me, target's on Jack right now, right? I get through Jack and then we talk. Obviously, like you said, Hamza likes to talk. He likes to chatter. He likes to put his name in the mix. And I'm gonna respond. I want all the smoke, right? I want to fight the best guys in the world. When he was at 170, I was asking for him. I wanted to fight him, and it wasn't personal. It was like I want to challenge myself. I want to show you guys that I'm the best guy. Whenever you talk about the best guys, best fighters in the UFC right now, my name needs to be at the top of the list.
Indeed, indeed. To close on Garry, because he's a polarizing figure. He talks a big game, but I think he backs it up. There are a lot of critics that say he's not a finisher. He plays it too safe. How good is Ian Machado Garry in your eyes?
I think he's good. I think he's smart. He has a really good IQ, and he understands how to win. I think that's one of his biggest strengths is he knows what it takes to win and how to do it. And he talks, right? He talks his big game, so you got to back it up. But at the end of the day, winning solves everything. If you're gonna keep winning, what else can people say to you? Like he's fighting these guys on 2 weeks notice, 3 weeks notice. And that's a hard thing to do. There's not a lot of guys that would have stepped up and fought practice on those notice. So he backs up that talk by stepping in the cage with all these guys. And a lot of the guys that he's fought, they're tough puzzles, right? MVP, super tough puzzle. Sure. You got Shavkat, tough puzzle. Practice, tough puzzle. You're not fighting bums out here. It's not easy just to walk through everybody.
No doubt about that. As we look at things right now and where you're at right here, you don't get into this game if you didn't believe you were going to become a champion. That's what you've been fighting for forever. But are you ever surprised at your success? Are you ever looking around going, man, if I get a couple more title defense, if I had some title defenses, like where will I be in this division's history? Like, do you surprise yourself at all in there?
For me, I not really surprised, right? Because I knew what I'm capable of. I always thought and always told myself we can't be the best in the world. Like I would always tell everybody around me, the people around me, the people that saw me from the start, they're probably a little bit surprised. They're like, this kid that started this late, there's no way he could be where he is today. I've had so many doubters and so many even family members that told me that, like, no way you're here. No way you did it again. No way you did it again. But like my team, my close circle, they know the work I put in. They know how hard I push. I've missed birthdays, weddings, family events, sacrificed everything for the sport. And I'm glad it's starting to pay off now.
Yeah, no question about it. And I got to say, I'm a big fan of Average Joe Art, and he's putting out the Bully basketball uniforms we got going on. Limited edition. You got some cool merch out there these days, Belal. How's that feel?
He's the best. He's a killer. And especially being from Chicago I had to do a basketball jersey. I had to make it limited. So those are sick and they're great quality. So shout out to Average Joe Art, and make sure you guys go click the link and buy them.
Yeah, indeed. I quickly wanted to ask you, I love the relationship you've built with Khabib as a coach, as a mentor, as what have you. I respect what you've said about Islam and you don't need to fight each other. You guys are close. What have you learned from Khabib that has really, changed you? Because that's a incredible mind to get access to.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's priceless. Like I've learned so much from him and gained so much from him. Even after winning the title, he said, now you have to work twice as hard. Like there's not taking your foot off the gas. You got to work harder. Even when I got the Jack fight, he said, he's tougher than Leon. You got to work harder than the last fight. Don't forget what hunger you had to get to the title. So we're not satisfied yet. So don't take your foot off the gas. Keep working, keep pushing. And that's what I did. I worked harder this camp than I did the last camp, and we're going to show that better version of myself.
There it is, UFC 315. I can't wait. May 10th, pay-per-view, Montreal. Wow, big fight city. Belal, they're going to remember that name. Thank you for the time. Go out there and keep doing what you do. Work hard, smile, get your hand raised.
Appreciate you, brother. You're the man.